Everybody, we have a snow day today, so if you hear the kids in the background or if I see them a little bit all over the place, it's because I'm also listening very carefully and we're going to try to get this done one shot straight through. Anyway, today is February 6th, 2025. The world remains on fire and I'm here, Ariane, am here with Gertie, and we are going to do a few things in this video, sort of switching to a longer form landscape situation. We're going to do some pick a page. We'll start with pick a page, then I've got some bookish mail and bookmail, and then we'll do a reading update, a writing update, and then I think a spinning update. I'll do some fiber content, and I also have a little bit of footage that I might put at the end of the video. I don't have anything on the needles right now as far as knitting goes. I do, but they're just sort of old abandoned projects at the moment, or things that are like done with scrap yarn. So I need to finish other projects to continue working on those. And yeah, I don't know when I'm going to get back to that. It will be a while, I think. Pick a page. This is Moon Have Mercy. It's the first book in the Ferreton Down series. It's the book that I wrote, and it follows young Ferreton as he experiences his sort of coming of age portion of his story. He loses everything he owns in a pretty devastating attack on his home, and this is his journey as he sort of figures out like what even happened, why, and what is his place in this universe that is often dangerous, but moreover just indifferent. It's also like very heavily found family story. If you would like me to pick a line to read for you off of a page in the book, then pick a number between 1 and 321, comment it in the comments below or to the side as the case may be, and I will flip to that page and read a story for you. Today, read a line for you from it. Today, we have from Stephanie Fay, who is an author that I know from the Clock app. She asked for page 320, which is one page behind, and I know that there's other requests that are earlier than that. It's just the one that I happened to grab today. So let's see what we have. Okay, so that's actually kind of a hard page. A lot of the lines on there don't really do anything for me out of context. They're not that interesting. I picked one that I think is all right without being spoilery. So Stephanie, here is your line. He was hoping to see any other ships that may have been launching at the same time, though even on a busy day, the chance of seeing anyone else was about nil. Stephanie, I hope you liked your line. If you would like me to read a line for you out of this book, comment a number between 1 and 321, either below or to the side as the case may be, and I will flip to that page and pick a line for you. Sometimes they're more meaningful than others out of context, you know. Anyway, bookmail. So on to bookmail. I got this more than a couple weeks ago in the mail from my friend Soraya Barrett. She is another author that I know from the Clock app. Here she is there. Here she is on the camera app. And she is working on a book that I'm really looking forward to reading someday called The Bone Tree, which is relevant for this, for this package. When I got it, she was in the middle of taking a break from socials, and so I didn't want to open it while she wasn't here. And then once she came back, I was kind of taking a break. So anyway, now we're both back, and I did already open this just because I didn't know if there was like anything that I needed to do with any of the items that were inside, like if there was like perishables or something. So I've already seen what's in here. This is the first thing. It's a card. I'm not going to share the card on the contents, but I will share how pretty it is. And then she included this book, which is called The Gravity Inside Us. It's a collection of poetry. So I don't read too much poetry, so I don't actually own too many poetry books. I'm excited to check that out. And then there is a feather and a seashell. I'm trying to block my eyes so that it'll focus properly. And then I guess this probably requires a mild content warning, just if like bones freak you out. Soraya is a bone collector, so she goes on hikes and nature walks, and she finds bones and takes them home and cleans and prepares them for display. So she actually sent me a couple things here. Look away if it bothers you. I have a jawbone from a deer, I think. I'm just guessing. Deer. Like also this, I think it's a deer. Gotta be right. And then this is the big piece. I have the skull of a deer she sent me. How cool is that? This is a very special package. And I will say, as somebody who doesn't much handle animal stuff, it is an interesting sensation to have something's like actual skull. So yeah, I think that probably what I will do, is, let me put it down before I hurt something. is get a shadow box and arrange things nicely in the shadow box and then maybe hang it. I'm pointing over at the stack of books. That is my physical TBR. And it's not all TBR. Some of that's just stuff that I was showing for video and never put it away. Thank you so much, Soraya. That is a big present. That is so much work. I know so much work goes into this, and I really appreciate that. I can't wait to have it on display. In the meantime, I'm going to store it so that it doesn't get smushed or something by the kiddos. Okay, so Bookmail Part 2. This is shorter a little bit, but this is Adeline Rising, and I picked up a copy of this for myself a while back. Seth Medeiros is another indie author who I know specifically from the Clock app and also the Camera app. This is where you can find him. And this is sort of, from what I gathered, it's kind of a Yankee in King Arthur's court sort of situation. If the New York Yankee was a kid, and the kid gets sucked into like a medieval fantasy realm. And I think he is like also a fan of medieval fantasy stuff. But in any event, I am looking forward to reading this book. Reading update. I am still reading In the Garden Behind the Moon by Alexandra A. Chan, my friend Aleshka. And let me tell you, this is such a powerful read. Subtly powerful though, subtly powerful. It's so beautiful and so magical. And I know I'm taking forever to read it, but I am getting close to the end now. And listen, I'm lucky if I can read 2 sentences at a time because, you know, mommy, I did this, mommy. It's fine. But this is beautiful. The artwork in it is beautiful. The writing is beautiful. The anecdotes and stories from her family's past and how they shape her in the given timeline that she's talking about are beautiful. So the way it's arranged is she's covering a period of a few years, and then for each year, the things that were going on in her life, whether it was tending to her father during his final days or after he passed and coming to grips with that, she kind of pulls stories from her family's past and from her own past and how they are relevant to that portion of her healing and coping process. It's just really gorgeous. It's magical realism, although even when she's talking about like visions or dreams or things, you know, I do feel like it's also just very heavily metaphorical. This is probably the autism speaking, but it is just, it's so much about finding the fantastic in, frankly, some of these stories are fantastical. It's amazing that they're like, wow, but also just finding the fantastic in the mundane and letting yourself teach yourself from your own experiences and your own ability to create metaphor and meaning in small things. Did I mention that she did like a jillion gorgeous original paintings for this book? Plus she's also a professional photographer, so like the pictures she took are amazing, and her dad was a professional photographer. He worked for Kodak, so like the pictures he took that she used here are also amazing. Like this is it's a rich experience, and I can't recommend it enough, kind of. And it, especially right now where the world is just burning down around us and we're trying to all sort of feel like, how are we moving on? How are we still doing the normal things that we need to do in the midst of all this chaos and strife and pain? And there is a lot in here that is relevant to that right now. A lot. So if you know what, if you're like, I know it's in a few reading groups right now, but if you're in a reading club, I really recommend this as a reading club book. I think it'd be a great book for that sort of environment, especially where you can all meet up virtually or in person the following week or whatever to discuss what you've been reading. So anyway, yeah, that's In the Garden Behind the Moon, and I will post a complete review when I'm done, but I wanted to share where I am with it with you now. Okay. Writing update. I hit 25,000 words on the first draft of my next book, which I'm just kind of, as a working title, this might end up being what I actually call it, but I'm just calling it The Early Adventures of Ferreton Down. It's the second book in the Ferreton Down series. I mean, that's just the title on my not Word, I use Pages, on my Pages file. But yeah, so this is going to be episodes. So the first, central, and final episodes are going to be longer, more like a full-length, like short story. And then there's going to be smaller, shorter, like one-off case file style episodes in between them. Hit a little snag because I did decide to make a pretty drastic change to that first story, so I'm in the middle of rewriting it right now. Otherwise I would be much further along. That's all right. It's not something that I can leave for the next draft. I have to do it now because it does affect moving forward. So that's where I am with that. I mean, 25K is pretty good. excited for that. And yeah, knitting, there's no knitting happening right now. Spinning, I am working on still that spin that I showed before of the merino, pretty sure it's bamboo, the green one, that I lost the paperwork for. I don't have the label for it anymore. But I'm pretty sure, I think it might have been Paradise Fibers. It probably was. I mean, I had their subscription box for a really long time, and there's just a lot of Paradise Fibers braids running around my house. It's spinning up really nice. I'm gonna do a fingering weight 3-ply because I'm super basic and that's just what I always do. And I kind of feel like part of it is that for consistency, right? Like if I keep everything kind of the same, then I can use it all together. Now with that said, I think I would like to card up a couple bats that I will use for more art spins. It's been a long time since I did an art spin, at least and shared it. And I find art spins are very cathartic. Like there's something cathartic about just seeing those, like oftentimes like bigger clumps like go through your fingers and then get forced into this sort of structure, into something that makes sense. And taking chaos and making it make sense is therapeutic for me right now. Anyway, so yeah, that's all for now. I will probably, like I said, insert some footage of spinning. I will have to take that footage after the kids are either asleep or doing something peaceful. I hope everybody is getting on and doing okay. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.
No, but you're using the flingy thingies again.
I'm using the flingy thingies again? Say that again, like how you just said it to me. You're all sticky.
I know, but you're using the flingy thingies again.
The little tabs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The flag.
Yeah, I haven't been doing a very good job with it. I only put 3 so far, but I'm trying to remember them. Trying to remember these spots.
1, 2, 3.
Yup. Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Bunny.
Da, 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 na, na, na.
What are you doing?
I'm doing the booty dance.